Bada boom, chicka boom.
Boom chicka boom. Let me just get everything on the goodies here.
My days. My days
Your
are my
goodies.
days.
All right. Looks like we're up and going. All righty. Well, everybody, thank you for joining and potentially joining another episode of Huddle Up. We got some good stuff to go over today. We're getting deeper, obviously, into the NFL season. Um, we got college kicking off. We got college football playoffs rolling. We got some championship games coming up. We'll touch on those a little bit. We've got some NBA news. Not a lot, but it's some NBA news. Um, and then other than that, we got your NFL, we got your fantasy football stuff all locked up. Trying to think. I think that's pretty much all we got for today. It shouldn't be too long. Shouldn't be too bad. Guys, we are over 200 subscribers now. We are at 210 subscribers. So we really appreciate everybody popping in, showing out, and shooting the likes and views on the videos. It really helps us out. Um,
Nah, fuck you guys.
I mean, you heard him here, folks. You heard it here. Someone just logged off. It went from one
Ah,
viewer to zero.
shit.
It's great. This is ridiculous.
Joke's on you. I've got 200 different accounts watching this.
Yeah, I wish that would help. That would help. Still not a lot of back and forth with anything. Don't be afraid to shoot a comment, all that good stuff. Oh, give me one sec.
Ay, Dios mío. What's up, Chad? Now that he's gone. Fuck him. Right? Yeah. All right.
Alrighty. Sorry about that. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. We will go ahead and start the intro right here. We'll get that popping, and yeah, just get ready for a good day of talking. Intro's playing right
All
now.
right, guys. We'll see you later.
All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go ahead and start off with some NBA news. Just some NBA to start it. Nothing too much, honestly. Just a little bit. Jake, if you got any NBA news or anything like that, go ahead and throw it our way. Um, with that being said, there we go.
really, the only news that I've got is the, the Clippers releasing Chris Paul.
Yep.
Um, that's really, in my opinion, the biggest story um, coming out of the NBA.
I got a couple good
It,
ones. I've got Chris Paul. I mean, I don't really know what the game plan is as far as releasing Chris Paul. I understand he's like old as dirt now in the league, but
it's like an Adam Thielen
yeah,
release. It's
honestly,
like
it's
he's retiring at the end of the year.
yeah.
Um,
But the dude's still got some
and
drive. He's still got some.
I,
He's
I
still
mean,
got some
his
kick in him.
he does, man. Like so I don't understand that. I hope a contender picks him up
100.
and
percent
he in year 22 or whatever he's in wins a chip. I really do. I don't care if
100%.
he's even on a bench, even if he doesn't play the whole year. I hope I hope he gets in and gets on a contender and wins a championship. I really do.
Absolutely.
It'd be awesome for him.
I feel like the best team to pick him up right now is like far as direction and everything else. I feel like the Dallas Mavericks would be a great team to kind of fit him in. I mean, assist first, pass first kind of point guard. He does. I mean, he is a mid game sort of specialist. Haven't really seen that lately from him. Honestly, I haven't really been watching that too much of him. But I
Yeah,
feel like the Dallas Mavericks would be a good team to just kind of get him in. And with Cooper Flag coming in this year, being already a star, how Cooper Flag is,
yeah,
you still got Kyrie there, you still got Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis. I feel like that'd be a good team to just mentor. I feel like even if you just keep
yeah,
him on the bench, even through next year, I understand he's probably retiring after this year, or he came out and said it, one of the two. But have him around just as mentorship. Like not a lot of people, not a lot of teams are taking these kids and actually putting good mentors in those ways. And
yeah.
I think Chris Paul's one of those guys.
Well,
Um,
it's also this new day and age, man. There are no mentors anymore.
no, 100%,
Everybody's out for themselves.
100%.
That this there's slim few mentors out there that actually take guys under their wing,
Yeah,
and that's in majority of sports nowadays, man.
yeah.
Everybody doesn't
The NBA
feel that
especially
they're
though, it's
responsible.
turned straight
Yeah,
into a business. It's no longer
yeah,
you know, we might have, let's do this for this guy or let's do that for that guy.
yeah, yeah,
It's one way or it's their way or the
yeah,
highway, honestly.
yeah,
Um, we do have the Cavs, Cleveland Cavaliers getting fined $250,000 for breaking
yep,
uh, injury protocol or
yep,
violating injury reporting rules for Darius Garland.
yep.
Giannis expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks due to calf, due to a calf injury.
Hmm.
Jokic remains front runner through the month of November, going into December. Um, but it's a toss up. Every now and then you'll see some SGA, Jokic. Cade Cunningham was in there off the Pistons.
Yeah,
He was in the talk. I mean, it was good stuff.
it's early.
Pick three. Oh, here we go. One sec. We got pick three. One half PPR. Terry McLaurin, Isaac Tesla, Alec Pierce, or Kareem Hunt. I'm assuming that's who you mean by Kareem Hunt. By the way, thank you, Simon Thomas, for the chat. Pick three. So you got to go. You got to go Terry McLaurin. We all saw the comeback. Jake, go ahead and pitch into Terry McLaurin. We saw the comeback. I feel like him and Marcus Mariota, they got their thing kicking again. Um, you got to go
Holy
Alec
Pierce.
Pierce. You got to go Alec
Yep.
Pierce. He's the big
Yeah,
time threat on the Colts. They always seem to link up, even with Daniel Jones
he's
limping around looking
such a
like
deep ball
trash.
threat, man.
Exactly.
He's literally the since he's come in the league, he's the best deep ball threat in the NFL. He's number one in deep balls
Yep.
since he's come into the league. And he's
Absolutely.
and he what quarterback has he had since he's come into the league? You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like, but yet he's still number one when it comes to deep balls. And he's a stud, man. He's huge. He can run. That's a no brainer.
Exactly.
But Terry McLaurin, Alec Pierce for sure.
And I would have to go with Kareem Hunt specifically based off of the big game that they're going to have to play with Houston. Kareem Hunt pops off in these primetime games. Sunday, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. Kareem Hunt usually averages 1.3 touchdowns. That's about 2 touchdowns a game. So
Yeah.
you have to keep it up with Kareem Hunt. Isaac Pacheco is not the receiving back. They got Kareem Hunt in there for that kind of
Yeah.
duties. With
Yep.
that being said, Isaac Tesla is a good pick. He's a good pick, but when it comes to Amon Ra being hurt, if Amon Ra does get cleared for tonight's game, which it is a game time decision, about an hour out, if Amon Ra does go get the green light, I don't see Isaac Tesla being a big factor. I don't see him really performing when they do have that other guy.
I don't see him performing anyways. When you have Jameson Williams,
Jamison
he's
Williams is
it,
popping off. He's having
it
one heck of a
he.
stretch.
I mean,
So,
look at the Green Bay game. Like they lost.
yep.
Tesla was a non-factor. St. Brown went out early.
But it's all the
And
weapons
Jameson
they have.
Williams.
It's all the
Yeah,
weapons. You got Jamison Williams, and then you also have David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs as
yeah,
not so much receiving
yeah.
backs, but when they get the ball, they can make it happen. On top of that, you got Knight's out, so their tight end is out. That's why I'm saying Tesla might be a factor with how many injuries they do have on the receiving end.
I don't know.
He might be a good slot guy.
Yeah,
But with
I'd
that being
definitely go
said,
Kareem Hunt for
100%,
sure.
I would have to go. You
Yeah,
got to go Kareem Hunt.
yeah,
So there's your
yeah.
three, my guy. and that's half PPR. I believe that's just half a point per reception. Um, yeah, McLaurin, Pierce, and Hunt. That's going to be our three. It's going to be our three for that one, big dog. Thank you for the comment, though. We really appreciate that. We love
Appreciate you.
we love stuff like that too, guys. So if you got stuff like that, if you got some scenarios, throw it our way, and we'll help you pick it out. We'll help you figure it out. Um, Going back on the NBA though, we got Giannis expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks for a calf injury. Jokic front runner for MVP. Like I said, it's SGA, Cade Cunningham, a little bit of both, a little bit three. Jamal Murray, 52-point game against Indiana, phenomenal. Could not miss threes. I was watching on the ESPN GameCast. Every other minute, it said Jamal Murray three, Jamal Murray three. The Pacers did have a great comeback. They were down. It was like 90. It was like 90 to 60, 50 something, 60 something. They brought it back to 117 to 100. But Jamal Murray was too much on fire, man. He was not missing a shot. He scored. I think it was 8 out of 13 on the last possessions of Denver, and 4 or 5 of those were threes. So when you're shooting like that and scoring like that, I don't care how good a defense you got, you're not winning that game. You're not coming back from that. That is all we kind of have on the NBA right now. I mean, other than that, you got your front runners, you got the Pistons, you got the Suns, or the Rockets. The Rockets are looking phenomenal with Slenderman out there.
Yep.
You got the Nuggets; they are coming back together. Pacers on the downfall. Lakers are killing it. They finally got the role guys. I feel like as long as they keep up this role playing kind of play, I feel like they're going to be good, man. The Golden State Warriors, Steph is back on his bullshit. He's not missing a shot when it comes to 3-pointers.
Yep.
But honestly, that's kind of all we really have on the NBA for now. I didn't really touch up too much on the college. Once again, main reason, it's just a little too early to kind of start throwing out predictions, doing anything crazy. You do have front runners, I feel like, but once again, like we've always talked about, it is a long season. Anything can happen, especially with Arkansas upsetting Louisville, 7-0 Louisville, Arkansas beating them yesterday, and they were beating them by at least 14 to 18 points at one point. So it's not one of those games that you can just kind of write off, you know. I feel like we just got all around. I feel like this is going to be the best year of sports that we have yet to see. With that being said, Jake, talk him up for a quick sec. Give me 1 sec.
All right, chap. Let's talk for a second. I got nothing here. Um, let's talk a little bit about we'll talk about hockey standings right now. You got some good teams out there. Um, let's see. NHL scores. There we go. So some good games out there. Oh yeah, big topic is you have uh Kings versus Capitals last night. Or a couple nights ago, I should say, sorry, 2 nights ago. Ovechkin versus Kopitar, big game. Capitals won that one, 3-1. Um, but that was the last time those two guys will be playing against each other. It was a big game. Um, yeah, so that was a pretty memorable moment for those two players, Kopitar and Ovechkin, playing against each other for the last time.
What the hell are you talking about?
NHL.
Oh, okay. I was like, dude, is that IndyCar racing? What the hell's going on here?
Nah, no. So yeah, that was a big game um, for those two guys, two legends in
Dude,
the game.
I gotta look up
Um,
some NHL stuff. That's getting
yeah,
hot and heavy, I think, right in the season.
yeah. NHL is going pretty strong
Hell
right
yeah.
now. Yeah, they're
But once
about
again, guys, we can do all this as long as you tell us what you want. I can remember to take notes and do certain stuff with certain sports as long as we get the feedback. No one's really putting out feedback. You're saying you like the content and appreciate it. We love it. but you're not telling us much with that. Like, we're going to keep rolling the way
Yeah.
we roll unless you're like, hey, what about the Bruins? Like, talk about them. Talk about this crazy trade that just happened. Cool. We'll include it on the next video. Stuff like that,
Yeah,
okay?
I watch, a little bit of hockey here and there. I'm a Kings fan, so I don't watch most games or stay up with most games, just mainly LA Kings.
God, the Kings suck.
But
They suck so much. Oh, no, wait.
they're better than the Indiana nobodies.
Hey, Buffalo Sabres, baby. Go Horns.
Buffalo,
Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo,
Buffalo Sabies. Nah, my grandpa was a huge
Buffalo,
Buffalo fan, so when he passed away, he gave me all his
Buffalo,
stuff, and ever since then, I was just a Buffalo fan.
Buffalo
I know,
sucks.
bro. Hey, they had a good run. They had a 5 game
They
win
did.
streak last season. All right, calm down.
They did. They're very up and down.
100%. They just, from what I see, is they just don't have that consistency that most, like the Bruins always
Yeah,
getting big names, always getting big trades. Um, there's just not a lot of
yeah.
consistency when the Buffalo Sabres, when they did get somebody, I can't even remember his name. It was like 2021, 2022. They apparently got a big name, and then like halfway in the season, injured. Everything went to
Yeah.
hell because they paid him all their money. They're just one of those teams that can't get out there financially,
Huh.
at least from what I'm tracking. But yeah, with all that being said, we'll go ahead and hit some fantasy football. I know that's why you suckers are here. Trying to pull out the chips, trying to pull out those last little schmutzies for the championship run here. We got playoffs starting next week, at least from my league. We got
Playoffs.
playoffs, yeah.
Playoffs. Talking
Jacob,
about playoffs.
Jacob, you're on thin ice. No, everybody on stream is, if you could see it, Jake. I don't know if you got the stream pulled up.
I do.
We have the last little schmutz right here. Last week, I'm probably gonna end at 9-5. I don't really have, I'm only saying that because Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley for me are not living up to the expectations. I am trying a different lineup. So Jake, tell me what take a peek. Tell me what I can do. What would you switch up, stuff like that. So for starting, I have, mind you, Christian McCaffrey's on bye. That's why I have Kenneth Gainwell starting. But I got Jalen Hurts, Kenneth Gainwell, Saquon Barkley, Nico Collins. I threw in Christian Watson this week. The dude's been balling out. He's lived up to what I thought he was going to do. I feel like he's the big hit guy. I got Jake
Yep.
Ferguson and Zach Ertz in. I got a double tight end set with Debo. Debo did phenomenal. Debo and Ertz were exactly what I thought and said what we said last week. They were exactly what they were. They were Terry McLaurin's like sidekicks. Whenever Terry wasn't there, he always gave a check down. So, and it was against the number 1 defense or number 2 defense. So I believe they can keep it rolling into Minnesota. I firmly believe that. I got Alec Pierce, Bo Nix, Jake Moody, but he's the only kicker I got that's not on a bye. And then I got the Kansas City defense, also only team not a bye. For my reserves, I got Zach Charbonnet, Dortch, Malik Davis. I picked him up today. I got Kareem Hunt. I did forget about Kareem Hunt. Got AJ Barner, Xavier Worthy. But that dude, Xavier Worthy, is on my shit list. He hasn't really been too good ever since Rashee Rice came back. I did have Chris Rodriguez in for Kenneth Gainwell, though. Chris Rodriguez is playing as a RB1 for Washington. It does look like the other running backs have fallen off, not to the extent of where he's only getting the majority of the snaps, but they haven't been producing, and he's been the workhorse for that. I also have Trey Tucker, and I did pick up Traylon Burks, Isaiah Likely, but he's 2 hit and miss. Dalton Knox, 2 hit and miss. And then Parker Washington. I think my starting lineup is as good as it'll go. I'm already locked into the playoffs. It's not like I'm fighting for any spot. But what I plan to gain out of this is see who the sleepers could be. So I typically don't start Gainwell, I don't start Watson, and I don't start Ferguson and Ertz together. I feel like this
Yeah.
is a feel out for me this week. But the other guys are 2
Oh,
hit and miss.
well, that's fine.
Trey Tucker's 2 hit and miss. Greg Dortch had a great 18-point outing, and the next week 2 point outing. Um, Kareem Hunt
Thank you,
once
bud.
once again, Kareem Hunt. This is a
We'll
primetime
talk
game.
about Phil.
Um, it is a primetime game. I do feel like he'll do great, but I don't mind sitting him on the bench for this week. Simply because of that reason. Once again, I'm not fighting for a spot or nothing crazy. Um, Xavier Worthy, Tyler Lockett. I feel like I have enough people to back up for the first week of the playoffs if it doesn't go the way I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would. My only
What you got?
change, my only change would probably be I would probably sit Gainwell.
So who would you
Um,
swap him with? Hunt? Would you try to do Hunt or Rodriguez?
um, I think Rodriguez because he's got the more favorable matchup going up against
Minnesota.
Minnesota
See, that's
rather than
I
Houston.
literally
You got
just
Houston's the
changed it
number one.
before we started the stream. By the way,
Houston's the number one defense in the NFL. I think Hunt's going to have a hard time. Minnesota, they're terrible. They're terrible.
but that's the
So
only thing with the that's the only thing is it is super, and that's why I wanted to start him this week for Gainwell is because he's super. It's super iffy with the Jalen Warren, Gainwell set, but with Baltimore being that good front rush, Gainwell's gonna have to play because he is the check down. Aaron Rodgers will check it down. So the last time, or
yeah, he will.
on average against top 5 rush teams, which the Baltimore Ravens are right now, within the month of November, they are on a good rush defense kind of scheme. Aaron Rodgers statistically throws it about 6 or 7 times to the check down running back. That's easy 7 points along with whatever he gets. And Gainwell is a very underrated receiving back. He makes, everybody forgets when they played the Vikings. He had a 31 point outing at the beginning of the year, prime time. I think they played in London. It was London or Italy or something like that. Um, but when
Yeah,
and that was
let's.
when Gainwell was the primary back.
Who the fuck is this idiot down here? Shuck it, adding Tom Brady and dropping Tyler Huntley.
Oh, he's a dude. He's a dude that
Who
he's
the fuck
already
is this?
he's already in the he's right here number 2.
In a toilet bowl?
No, no, no. He's number 2. He's at the top. I mean, let's be
This one,
honest.
yeah.
Let's be honest. I'd rather have Tom Brady right now, with potential comeback on the Raiders than Tyler Huntley. But no, that's the lineup right now. That's how we're looking. Pretty much everybody 6 up is how it's going to be. And then but yeah, no, fucking as far as the running back, I want to keep it this way because once again, I feel like Rodriguez is going to have a game, but this is strictly just to see, you know.
Shout out to D Money sucking. 4-9. Terrible. Get it together, bud.
Trash, bro. Trash.
Just terrible. Maybe if you'd listen to the podcast, you would win more.
Honestly, if only he had it open. If only he had it open, he might be able to do something with it. But but no, yeah, I'm probably gonna end it 9-5, 10-4. Not a lot of anything changing. Here's kind of how it's looking as far as matchup. We'll go week 15. That's kind of how it's looking. Looks like I'm playing Krispy Kreme as of right now, at least. Um, yeah, to the moon, and then if I can beat, actually, let me see what we got here. If I beat him, yeah, everything would pretty much stay the same. I feel like, but once again, I'm gonna have Christian McCaffrey back for next week, and Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. It's starting to get crunch time for them, and I will say this about the Eagles: end of year crunch time. They've never looked bad at the end of the year, but I wouldn't surprise me if this is the beginning of the, if they start looking bad now. But I will say, I do see them, at least those two popping off. I do feel like Jalen Hurts, they're figuring out that they can't just keep running the ball with him or Saquon. It's going to expand the variety. That'll get him points, and then Saquon. I mean, if I'm the offensive coordinator looking at Saquon, I'm telling him, hey man, you need to step it up, or next year you're going to be sharing some snaps with Shipley. And I'm saying that in a very mean way. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, no, I feel like it's a good last week layout. Give it a shot. But as of right now, when Christian McCaffrey comes back, I'm probably going to swap Chris Rodriguez for Zach Ertz, keep Jake Ferguson. And once again, it all depends on who they're playing. I'll probably keep it like that and then keep everybody else the same as far as receiver wise. Do you think that would be a good swap, or what you thinking?
Yeah, I do. Um,
Phil, Chris Rodriguez here, Christian McCaffrey will go back up here. And then I've got
yeah,
I've got backups too. You know, I got Trey Tucker, I got Xavier Worthy, I got Tyler
yeah.
Lockett,
I don't think
and
you can't really go wrong
Evan Ingram
throwing in
popped off.
a RB1 somewhere.
Exactly,
He's going to get the points.
exactly, man. But yeah, no, I mean, league's going good, and then once we get into the playoffs, we'll definitely see how we're looking. We'll definitely be popping up. Um, for that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll hit our good games of the week. We got our closest game. For this, once again, this is fantasy. We're talking fantasy right now. We got our big boy league. We have How I Metcalf Your Mother at 133.04. He beat Tua legit to quit. He beat them 133.02. So by .02, and that was actually the game between these guys. What they were talking about in the forum, the How I Metcalf Your Mother, it was like between these guys, it was the final spot for the playoffs. So that apparently locked up. Like the other dude had to win in order to stay alive, but that dude shut him out now. It's a lock. Then we got the biggest blowout in the Bop'em Twist'em League.
That's
We
don't
got
pop him, twist him me.
we got
Okay.
Watson's Massage Parlor at 235.18, and he beat Two Kittle Too Late by 91.8. That's the biggest blowout. Good old schmutz too.
Yeah.
Dude, these names, bro.
That's awesome.
Alrighty. Going off of more fantasy football news, Lions game time call for St. Brown today. We're going to try to end this at 5, so that way you got plenty of time to review your own stuff and do everything else. Just try to get you in there before it's too late. But Lions game time call for St. Brown. You should know that by 5. Or, an hour before game time. It's 5 o'clock here. Or it'll be 5 here. Adam Thielen to the Steelers. If you're still rolling with Adam Thielen, good on you. If you have had hopes for this man, you deserve a trophy yourself. Because he is about to win you a league. He is about to win you a league. I feel, I don't know why, but I just feel like Aaron Rodgers with Adam Thielen, with the receiving core that we've seen the Steelers have, it is about to be lights out, and we're about to see bombs to DK Metcalf. I don't know. I'm just really pumped for it. I'm super excited. I feel like it's going to be I feel like he's just a great addition to the team, to the receiving core. Lamar Jackson should play. Apparently, the Ravens coordinator came out this week and he said Lamar Jackson's going to play. It is his ankle again. Asking me, I think it's a 50-50 dumb move, good move. You don't have a backup. We've already seen it at the beginning of the year. You don't have a backup to go in and fill in for Lamar. You don't. You don't have a backup to go in and win games like Lamar does. And that's why this is a good move. But at the same time, it's just like Daniel Jones. It's just like Aaron Rodgers. You're playing people who are hurt, and you're on a crunch time playoff run. You need to win these games to get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, you're at risk of just easily being eliminated, period, if he gets hurt. Like,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson's just not going to throw the ball. He's going to scramble. He's going to run. He's going to get out of the pocket. That's who he is. But you are completely at risk. And, what that means for fantasy is Lamar Jackson's on average a 28-point performer this year. when he's playing.
Mhm.
With that being said, take away those 28 points, and if your backups like mine, now granted, I think the one dude that has him, like for example, if you got Tua as a backup in your league with Lamar, that's going to completely screw you because you don't know what Dolphins team you're going to get. You're at the end of the year; they're trying to tank. You know what I'm saying? It's it's just not looking good. And then also Justin Herbert, another one. He's apparently hurt. Um, I believe it's his off throwing shoulder, his left shoulder, I think. But he's going to play as well. Um, Once again, he just follows in the same thing I just said with Lamar, Aaron Rodgers,
Yep.
Daniel Jones. All these guys have potential to get wiped out for this end of the season. And as a team that, you know, we've seen the Ravens schedule, we've seen the Steelers schedule. We haven't really took a peek at the Chargers too much, but still, the NFL is the NFL. It's any given Sunday from what we've seen, you know, ever since the beginning of the season. So, with all that being said, it can literally your whole season could flip with one injury, 100%. So make sure you guys are stacking up on backups. You are stacking up on the good stuff. Um, we got our stardom. I only got 4 this week. I mainly focused on receivers. Stardom, Chris Godwin, get him in. Get that man in. I feel he's. It's just one of those things when you're looking at statistics. This is when he kicks it on. And him and Baker have been in sync. They will be in sync. They're gonna be in sync. Get Chris Godwin in. Get Dontavian Wicks in. Jordan Love and him are on the roll. They're on the ball. 28 points last week against, you know, supposedly one of the best teams to do it on defense, right? 28 points against them. Dontavian Wicks, get him in. Brian Thomas coming back from the injuries, get him in. I feel Trevor Lawrence needs his big man. He needs his big play guy. He has to have him. Just like Baker with Chris Godwin. I feel like Jordan Love's got many options, but Dontavian Wicks, like we talked about before, Jake, he's turning into the go-to guy on those in routes. The man's just huge. I don't know how you can stop the guy, to be honest. And then obviously, or no, my bad. This one's a new guy. This is kind of a stretch, but trust the process. Odene Mitchell, wide receiver on the Jets. Trust the process. Put him in. Get him in as a wide receiver 3 this week, and you won't be sorry. We'll talk more about it next week if I'm an idiot or not. Jake, what you got about those 4 that I just said, though? Chris Godwin, Wicks, Brian Thomas, Odene Mitchell. What you thinking?
Um, yeah, I like all of them. The one I'd watch out for is Dontavian Wicks. He has been limited in practice.
Mmm.
Um, so he has been battling some injuries and things like that. Um, so um, watch out for that. Because also at the same time, watch out. Jaden Reed is also. I don't want to say he's coming back this week,
But
but he has
potential?
been. Yeah, he has been limited at practice.
Got you.
So be prepared for that. Um, Matthew Golden is also projected to start coming back either this week or next week as well. So, these the it's tough with the Packers, man, because there is no outright number one.
No, 100%.
You've got guys that will showcase. I think the number one is Watson right now. I think he's proven it this year, like that he's catching everything. I mean, he's had a drop here and there, but it's like
And he's making
when it's
spectacular catches, though. Like, it's not like he's just catching these
when it's
balls.
big
He's
downs,
going up.
he's catching it. Like,
Yes.
oh, cool. Let's just hey, it's 4th and 3. It's 3rd and 4. Run a quick out, catch the ball, and it's like it's in his hands. He's catching it no matter what. Oh, let's go deep, jump ball, catching it. We got a quick slant in the end zone. Boom, big target, box out. So I'd be a little skeptical on Dontavian Wicks. at least this week because he is limited in practice. If he's full participation, I would say let it ride because he is starting to have a come out party. But
Yeah,
that's out of all those other guys, that's the one I would say maybe hold off on a little
gotcha.
bit. Um,
And we won't really
yeah,
know too much more until once when Friday and Saturday hits and we see the
yeah,
actual reviews
yeah,
hit for Friday practice, Saturday practice, stuff
yeah,
like that. Um, but yeah, that's a good point. Good bring up. Just be wary of that. Be ready for Sunday though. Be ready for Sunday. If
yep,
you guys, if you guys are serious about doing this whole championship run or whatever the heck, if you guys are serious about the fantasy football leagues, I know some people don't really care too much, but you know, ESPN posts that stuff like what 8, 9 in the morning on Sundays, and then they usually post it midday on Saturday as far as like who's potentially going to play, doubtfuls, questionable stuff like that. Take a peek. Just take a peek
yeah,
at it. We don't get on every day, so just take our advice. Just use it as an outline. Okay, cool. I threw them in. Let me monitor, kind of what's going on with it now, sort of thing. Um, yeah, with Chris Godwin though, Chris Godwin, Brian Thomas, those guys, those are the bigger guys. Baker's going to have to find Chris Godwin if he wants success this week. Same thing with Jacksonville's Trevor Lawrence. They're going to
yeah.
have to find their big guys. They're going to have to find their speedsters to make sure everything else is going good. I also say that with Parker Washington potentially more than likely going to be out, and if he's not out, he's going to be limited during the game. Parker Washington has kind of been the reliable check down dude. He's been the short guy, slot guy. He's an animal, but at the same time, if he is limited, Brian Thomas is going to have to step up. He's going to have to do that number one receiver stuff again, and he's gonna ball out. I feel like he's gonna ball out. Trevor Lawrence is in sync right now. The Jags are just rolling. Same thing with the Texans. I don't see the Texans losing. I don't see the Jags losing. I can see them. I can see them getting it done this weekend. We got get them in potentials. We talked about this one a little bit already. Wide receiver Isaac Tesla. Um, if you got him on your bench, keep him on your bench. I know he's kind of a hot topic right now. He's mainly being talked about because Amon-Ra is a game time decision. Keep him on the bench. I would not. I wouldn't start him this week unless we get a clear cut. Amon-Ra is out. But like we already talked about, I'm probably not moving him any further than that. I'll move him around on the bench if that makes him feel better, but I'm not putting him in. We got Darren Waller. I would throw him in. Darren Waller is back. He's getting back up to snuff. Tua's finding his tight ends again when he doesn't get a concussion, and I feel like Darren Waller is on that track of having. He should be a pretty reliable tight end too, if you don't have anybody better, sort of thing. We already talked about. Or no, this one is wide receiver Devon Vell, wide receiver on the Buccaneers. Another good guy. If you got him on your bench, cool. Kind of see what they got going on. I know there's a lot of talk of Mike Evans coming back. I don't think he's coming back yet. I think it's just people getting excited because of whatever
On
reason.
Ross St. Brown at back end is activated for tonight.
You said what?
Amon Ross St. Brown is active for tonight.
There you
He
go,
is playing.
guys. Amon-Ra is activated.
Yep.
Amon-Ra is in. There you go.
Yep.
Nothing else needs to be said. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
Definitely, you didn't hear it first from whoever sent it to Jake, okay? You didn't hear it from there. You heard it from here.
Uh
Yeah, for real. Marcus Mariota. I would start him this week. Against Minnesota, they don't really have a good, play.
anything.
Yeah, they don't have nothing for defense, honestly.
You know.
Apparently, J.J. McCarthy's coming back, and they're making a big deal out of it. I would start Marcus
Oh,
Mariota. I could see him
oh,
easily getting 20, 25 points in between there.
yeah.
Potentially more. I feel like they're riding high, though. I feel like last week's play against the Broncos showed exactly what they can do when they're locked in. It was a great game all around. Defense complemented offense, offense complemented defense. That 2-point play at the end of the game, I don't care who you are. I know Broncos fans are all in up in arms. If he would have got that ball over the defender, that game would have been over. Broncos would be 9-3.
Yeah.
But once again, it is a what if. But no, with Marcus Mariota getting in sync with Terry McLaurin back, Chris Rodriguez running the ball, they actually established a ground game. I can see them 100% having a great game. Marcus Mariota, get him in. Colby Parkinson, I know Jake's a little rough with that guy. Um, I would more than likely keep him on the bench. Chase Brown, he's somebody that if you have, get him in. Um, the past couple weeks have been a little on the rough patch side. I think against Baltimore or against who are the Bengals playing this week?
Buffalo.
I feel like yeah, Buffalo. That's it. With Buffalo, they do give up more check down yards than pretty much everybody else in the. I think they're second or third in like defensively in giving up those check down yards. Put in Chase Brown. That's where Joe Burrow is going to find him. I don't see them establishing a huge run game. I could see him maybe getting 55 yards, maybe a goal line touchdown if he's lucky. But I don't really see him popping off on the ground. It's going to be more through the air. Joey B's back. Joey B's getting in rhythm, and the Bengals, to the moon at this point. Um, Amari and Hampton's return will be this week, I believe. If you have Amari and Hampton, you have to be very wary about pretty much just about him coming back. Um, I know when Bucky Irving came back a couple weeks ago, he was right back up to running back one status. He was running all over them motherfuckers. But you got to be wary about Hampton's injury. From the one article I read, it's more or less it's a really early decision. You know what I'm saying? Like the Chargers do need help in the run game. I think Vital's doing pretty good, but apparently head office is thinking the other way. I think it might just be to split it too, honestly, like 50-50 it, which is not a bad plan. I mean, you got Hampton, you got Vital. Vital's showing you he can be a number one. It could just be another Steelers situation where you got to kind of play it out, and that could be potentially what they're trying to do. But that's kind of just more up in the air on that one. Um, let's see. I'm gonna rip off some NFL news. We're gonna pop over to the NFL. I'm gonna rip off some news real quick, Bubba. We got Darius Slay apparently coming back. Apparently he's gonna go to the Bills. He won't be with the Bills until apparently he's waived with the Steelers, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson should play. That was one of those. Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter, week to week with a shoulder procedure, whatever he had happen. I don't know if he had shoulder popped out of place or what's going on with him there. Um, but apparently he's week to week. And if you
What
guys
is
don't,
this?
Jalen Carter, D tackle Eagles.
Yeah, he underwent a little surgery on his shoulder,
Dang. Okay. So,
but he is week to week still.
but you guys got to understand too. If you got the Eagles defense, understand that pass rush, if he's not in, it's very much it very well could be gone.
And going back to the Darius Slay, he was picked up by the Bills because he
Yeah.
was waived by the Steelers. They did claim him, but he is contemplating retirement, so he is not going to report to the Bills yet
Mm.
until he's figured out if he wants to continue to play. Um,
So if I'm Darius Slay though, getting smoked every play on the last year and a half.
yeah,
I'm gonna join the Bills. I'm gonna be on a team and bandwagon that ring if I can.
uh,
And Darius Slay, he's still got some kick. I don't doubt he isn't that guy who he used to be, but let's be honest. Darius
well,
Slay has gotten
he
burnt
needs to get his head in the game.
a
That's the
hundred
biggest
percent.
thing. Is
If
he
you're if
like
you're
you said,
already contemplating retirement, get out. Just stop. Go.
yeah.
You know.
Well, especially towards the tail end of the season.
Well,
Like if you can't figure like if you can't go through a full season, like it would be one thing if he was riding pine
yeah,
and he's like, "What am I doing this for?" Like Joe Flacco, like if like you've come in, you've been a starter, and then all of a sudden you get traded to a team, and then the starter comes back, and then now you're riding pine, and it's like your job is never really secure. His job is secure when he's healthy. He's always out there,
yeah.
and it's like now. you mutually parted ways with the Steelers because of whatever reason. You didn't like the direction the team was going, whatever. You can't get the problem is you need to get your head on straight. Either retire or finish the season out and then
Exactly.
retire. But you need to get it together
hundred
because
percent.
you're a distraction and you're bad for the team.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you're contemplating retirement, going from the Steelers to the Bills, and you don't know what you're
Yeah.
gonna do yet, just retire.
Just
Get
retire.
out. Get out.
Yep.
Your head's obviously not there because you're going to a
Yep.
team that will have a shot.
Yep.
So now it's like, okay, can I give it my all
Yeah.
there? Can I stay healthy? Can I do everything I need to do as a player to give them maybe another
Yep.
year? Because Darius Slay, if he puts his head on right, dude,
He can
he
play.
could
He can still
easily
play,
be
man.
the number one corner on the Bills defense. They don't really
Yeah.
have much. He
They
could
don't really
easily
have
help
much.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they're kind of running slim, and it's not so much
Yeah.
their fault on like depth chart. It's just you gotta pay your guy. You gotta pay Josh Allen. You
Yeah.
gotta pay. Now it's James Cook. The only good thing is the reason why they have such a balanced defense because they're by no means do they have the Bengals defense where it's trash everywhere. They have average people in every position. So, and the reason of that is because you got to pay James Cook, you got to pay Josh Allen. But good news for the Bills is you have no receivers to really pay other than Shakur. Other than Shakur, I'm not really looking to extend anybody else on that roster. You know what I'm saying? As far as receiver goes, maybe Gabe Davis because the size, like the dude's just an animal. He's huge. He's freaking huge, and you'd be dumb to let him go. You know, he went to Jacksonville, but at the time, I just don't think it was the right Jacksonville team for Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is still a phenomenal receiver, I believe. I believe he could easily be a number two, but when you got Brian Thomas or when you got Shakur, and then you got kind of all these like mix and match sort of guys. I mean, let's be honest. Josh Allen's number one dude is Kincaid when he's in, so you can't really do much with that. When that was like when Tom Brady started focusing on Gronk. You know, the year that I think it was Gronk's second or third year when he started like really like bringing in the completions because he wasn't always a catchable guy, but when he started to, that's when you saw Julian Edelman's stock kind of dwindling down. You saw Danny Amendola's stock going down because you don't need like yeah cool you obviously you need them, but at the same time you got Gronk, dude. You know what I'm saying? Sort of same thing with Buffalo. And when Josh Allen's not running, he's trying to look for, or when he's not passing, he's looking for a concussion 15 yards downfield. So, you know, you gotta take it. You gotta take what you can get. Um, Going off on that, Joey B's miracle, miracle season, or yeah, Joey B's miracle year. You know, just the whole talk of can Joey B do it? Can everything fall into place to where they snag a number 7 seed and then potentially work its way out? Like we talked about before on previous podcasts, to all the people that are watching now, go check it out. We kind of call everything. We're kind of good. Um, then we got our Daniel Jones and the Colts in trouble. What do you think, Jake?
Man, um, it's tough. So Daniel Jones, his injury is still up in the air. I think I saw some news that he reached out to I think a former Duke teammate
Yeah, I
or
saw
a
that
Duke
too.
player about a 3D printed like pad of some sort to protect his leg, which is cool. Um, but we'll see, man. I mean, that team is still dangerous.
Well, I'm gonna be honest,
He
dude. If
he looked pretty good in their last game. Obviously he's not himself because if he can't step up in the pocket, if he can't scramble,
yeah,
it's tough.
that's where I
It's
saw
tough,
him
dude.
struggling with stepping up in the
It's
pocket,
tough.
and he
It's tough.
overthrew.
Well, when you have a leg injury like that, it's
No,
tough, dude.
100%. But
Like, or a
when
guy
you
that
overthrow
athletic.
Alec Pierce the way he was, man, he was just off
Yeah,
target.
yeah,
I'm sorry, but the Colts are now turning in. They've kind of low key been that one dimensional team where
yeah,
since Daniel Jones cannot get the ball to his big man Alec Pierce,
yeah,
you stop Jonathan Taylor, you're gonna win the game.
yeah.
And
Yeah, that
unfortunately,
offensive coordinator's really got a
but it's not their fault though.
he
But here's my thing though, it is not their
I
fault at
mean
all. He's been doing what works. If it works,
yeah,
don't stop it. He's a clear cut
yeah,
guy that now
yeah,
you gotta hybrid a little bit. You gotta figure out what's
yeah,
going on. You know,
yeah.
so if they're sticking with
We'll
Daniel
see.
Jones, they just got to make it happen. I don't think they're
Yeah,
in too much trouble, but they are potential they can potentially blow the AFC. What is it? North?
Yeah, I
No,
think so.
no. The North is with Joey B. East. Is it the South? Are they in the
Maybe
South?
West.
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 AFC
Right.
West.
No, it's South.
It
South.
is South. Yeah, yeah. So
South.
AFC
Yeah, because the
South.
West is Chargers,
That's right. Chiefs
Kansas
and all them.
City. Yeah.
But no, I feel like they are on dangerous ground. Not so much on playoffs. They're set on the playoffs. I don't see anyone coming up and knocking them out unless they really go on a losing streak. Like,
Yeah.
but they still play the Titans again, easy win. They still play certain divisional opponents that they've had a one up on. But those divisional opponents now are the Jags, Texans, people on absolute hot streaks right now that shut
Yeah.
the run down.
Yeah.
So the
Stuff.
Colts, it's just tough, man. It's tough, and that's
Yeah.
where it's just any given Sunday. It all depends on what Colts team comes out to what defense they have.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews agrees to 3 years, 39.3 million.
Yep.
What the hell?
Let me get
Like,
some of that.
dude, I don't know why the hell you're offering anybody over 20
Nice one.
million
Sounds good,
who
dude.
blew a 2 point conversion catch to take you to a the championship, but I guess that's just me. Um blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's pretty much all that, man. And then we just got my highlighted games. We can talk about that for a quick second, and then we can screw off so that way people can start focusing in on the big Thursday night showdown between the Cowboys and Lions, right?
Lions.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Okay, just double checking, just double checking.
Yeah, we'll make
Um,
we'll make some picks too.
Absolutely, we will. Absolutely. So my first game that I have highlighted: Chiefs versus Houston. So much on
Huge.
the line. It's huge
Huge
right
game.
now, as Donald
Yeah.
Trump would say. It's huge,
Huge.
huge. It's a thick can of pancakes. Chiefs, if they lose this game, they are potentially, it's still a long season. We're just making predictions and stuff like that, but you got to be willing to accept every outcome. You know what I'm saying? So if the Chiefs lose this game, they could potentially miss the playoffs. If Houston wins this game, they could potentially get up there and what we just talked about with the Colts falling off. If the Houston Texans win this game, they could potentially run the tables on the South, and they could easily take it. And that's facts. You know what I'm saying? So, with Kansas City, they have to find a run game. They can't keep doing all this stuff. But again, they're going against the number one run defense. They're going against Houston. They shut that run down. Um, I will say the offense on Houston is now looking above averagely dangerous. They are finding the receivers again. They're finding the run game. Nick Chubb is starting to get in rhythm, and I'm very curious to see because that O line is good. That O line is very decent. They're by no means a top 10, but they're not above a 15. You know what I'm saying? So they're sitting in that 10 to 15 mark. They can easily get Nick Chubb and Woody Marks. That's a good dangerous combo, by the way. Um, they can easily get them the yards they need to have a substantial run game.
Yeah.
Kansas City has done. They still got Steve Spags, right? Defensive coordinator. He is very good against the run, but not a hybrid kind of run, not with a two runner sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? They're good to stop one guy. That's why they had some success with
Yeah.
stopping Jonathan Taylor, but he still did his thing, right? But Jonathan Taylor's a different animal. That's a completely different story a little bit. Another big game I got highlighted: Colts versus Jags. Another huge one, exactly what we just talked about. Houston and Jags on an absolute hot streak. Colts they're holding on. They're holding on, but it all
I
depends
mean
on how
that
they come
that
out and
one
start hitting.
that one's really a big game just for Houston for the sole reason of I mean it's a big game for everybody, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Colts and Jags are both 8-4,
Yep.
you know. Um, but the Texans are sitting on the bubble at
The
seven and
Texans are
five.
7-5. Yeah. Okay.
7-5, sitting right there on the bubble. And if the Texans can rattle off a win against the Chiefs
Mm-hmm.
and go to 8-5, and then the Colts or the Jags, one of them lose, then everything starts changing because one of them is obviously going to lose. The Colts or the
Yeah.
Jags, one of them is going to lose. How should you do that be as a tie?
No, oh right, that'd be so crazy.
But
Now if you're on the Texans, Jake, if you're the head coach, whatever, on the Texans, who are you looking for to win and lose? What would your ideal, squad look
um,
like?
well, let's see. Um, let's see. Let's take a look at their schedule real quick. Um, so, da, 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 da. So ideally you would want. I mean, it really doesn't matter, honestly.
I'm
Um,
gonna I'm gonna say,
no, I would say Colts. You want the Colts to lose for the sole reason
yeah,
of you've already got the head to head against them because they split
exactly.
against
That's
it. They
exactly what I was gonna
split they
say.
split Jacksonville. They split Jacksonville. So as of right now, they have the head to head against the Colts. They finished the season out against the Colts. Um, but you want that 1 game separation.
Especially with it being the
So
end of the
you
game or
want,
end
yeah,
of season. With it being
yeah,
end of season, you don't know how it's gonna look. You
yeah.
might have that 1 game ahead, which that
So
will play a
yeah,
factor.
yeah.
Um,
So it's kind of a toss up, really, because since they split with Jacksonville as well, it's not the end of the world if they split. Obviously, you
hold
want
on,
to try
honey.
to sweep the Colts. You want to try to sweep the Colts. That way, you at least sweep one of your divisional opponents
100%.
that are that are
Playoff
in
contention.
the playoffs
Yeah.
right now. So
Um,
yeah,
we also got one sec, Bob.
but
Dude, that girl scared the shit out of me. But yeah, let me give a shout out real quick to everybody who's viewing. We actually reached our top peak, 13 views with our 3 concurrent viewers. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in for quite some time. Um, that's actually really cool to see. It is showing that little bit of growth. We went from 5, we went to 5, 7, and then just kind of going up from there. So it is really cool to see. Appreciate you guys. And if you guys do stumble across this page, shoot a sub, show some love, try to shoot a comment if you can, kind of like this guy did, kind of like Thomas did. If you got a scenario or whatever, throw it in there, and we'll answer. We'll do our thing. Um, Going back on to the highlighted games, Cowboys versus Lions tonight. That's huge for both their divisions. With the Lions, if the Cowboys can beat the Lions, that just kind of pole vaults you guys kind of in further. I know it's not really looking like the Lions show anymore. It's pretty much between you and the Bears right now. Vikings
yeah.
could come out of nowhere. We don't know.
No, we do know. We do know.
Oh man,
Okay,
I wait.
so
I wait all day for
let's
these
be
little.
honest.
I wait all day for these little punchers, man. But no, this is a big game, man. It's a big game for the Cowboys. If they can pull this out, their win streak continues, their hot streak continues, and the Lions, you're looking like you need to figure it out. And that's that.
Yeah,
Um, Eagles versus Chargers, huge for that division. On top of the Chargers, you got
yep,
the Broncos running away with the West. Chargers have potential to stay above the Chiefs. I believe the Chargers still have a game to play against the Chiefs. Along with that being said, they do have a game to play against the Raiders, Chiefs, and Broncos. So for the Chargers, this is a must-win. And I'm gonna be honest, if Jalen Carter doesn't start, I don't see the defense of the Eagles holding the Chargers offense. Now, granted, the Chargers
yep,
offense is hit and miss. We understand that, but at the same time, they're two big hitters. They're big hitting plays. The
yeah,
Eagles don't match well with that. They're dead last in
yeah,
giving up big plays. Um, the scores on the scores might tell one story, but when you look at the stats and the play breakdown, field goal percentage to big play, does stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles are not. They're by no means a substantial kind of team. Um, Cardinals versus Rams. I got this one highlighted because the Rams need to win. To maintain control or to win the NFC, they need to beat the Cardinals. But the Rams are quickly looking like the Packers on the teams they should beat. Somehow, they don't. With that being said, I'm not doubting the Rams one bit. I still think the Rams are going to win, but this is just a big game for them. The tides can
Yeah.
quickly turn in the NFC if the Rams don't clutch this up. They are on a must-win from here on out. I don't doubt, once again, no doubt that the Rams will do that, but it's just a big game for me. I feel like that's a big game. You got Buffalo versus Bengals. Obviously, Buffalo's trying to get back up in deeper into the playoff contention. They can't take a loss here, just like Kansas City with Houston. They cannot take a loss. And of all teams, the Bengals. The Bengals are at a must-win mode. They have to win out in order to even have a chance. Not to have a chance, but to have the best chance for at least a number 7, number 6 spot for playoffs. So that'll be a good one. I got that one on my schmutz. And then Steelers versus Ravens. This is the do or die game. I mean, whoever loses this, I could see, because the Steelers and Ravens both have to go better than 3-2. They have to match 3-2 or go better. So you're automatically adding a one loss to one of those teams, giving
Yeah.
the Bengals a potential spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're already at one loss. Who's to say you won't lose 2 more? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I damn well don't want to play the Bengals in the playoffs with a healthy Joey B and the way they're looking right now. If that defense can maintain the average necessity that they are on the Bengals, I don't, the shootout's going to continue. You know what I'm saying? And then I saved my game of the week is the Packers versus Bears. Obviously, so much riding on that game. You have 2 hot teams. 2 hot teams that match each other in every category, defensively to offensively. It's going to be one hell of a game. I don't think by any means there'll be a shootout, but I do have 24-20 Packers. We talked about it before too much. The Bears are kind of giving off fraud sort of vibes by the one possession wins, last minute wins, or last second wins. That's my opinion. You guys can have other opinions, that's fine. But with the Packers, they do win the games that they have to win, not the must wins. Not the teams that they're going in and they should win, right? They do win the must win. They do win these games. So that's why I have the Packers 24-20 going into Sunday. And then probably the game everyone's going to be talking about, dude. Browns versus Titans. This is probably the game of the year. I can see it being 38-30 Titans.
I think this is going to be, I think it's going to be arguably one of the highest viewed games
Oh, easy.
this
Easy.
year. I'm not going to say in
It
history
has
because no,
Super Bowl
no,
contention, my guy.
well, I mean, the problem, the biggest thing is like you've got the number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward, and then what everybody thinks fucking should have been the number 1 overall pick in a first rounder in Shador,
Oh, it's going to be
you
Shador,
know,
baby.
and uh, I mean, there's no reason why the Browns shouldn't win because and it's solely off their defense. Their
100%.
defense is going to get after Cam Ward. But what people don't realize is Cam Ward has a dog shit team, and he slings the
But
rock.
he's exactly, man. He's still putting up
He
250.
sling
He's still putting
he
up 250
slings
on
the
certain
fucking
games.
rock,
Cam Ward is
and
doing amazing
he
things.
stands in the pocket and just fucking hucks the ball,
Dude, I love it.
slings it
I
over the
love it,
middle of
bro.
the field. Oh man, he
Cam
throws
Ward,
a nice
Cam Ward
ball.
is that guy. And with the Titans, if I'm the Titans, I'm telling you right now, we are making sure we're getting another number 1 pick next year, and I'm snagging that number 1 receiver.
Kicker.
Huh?
Oh yeah, receiver. Oh, kicker.
Oh,
Taking kicker.
yeah. Thought something completely different came out. But
3 first round picks for young Hoku.
yo, could you imagine? The man kicks turf before he hits the ball.
Hey man,
That's
he'd
nuts.
be really great at golf, man. He'd divvy the shit out of it.
Hey, he get it in from the trap for sure. Um, but no, honestly, man, I feel like that's going to be a great game to watch. I feel like to actually just sit down and watch, not care about the outcome. I feel like the Browns and Titans are going to be that game.
I'm gonna
I
watch it.
hope
I'm
Cam
gonna tune
Ward
into it.
and Shadur bring it. I hope it's a shootout. I hope it's like 300 yards each way. I really do. But I don't see it happening. Both defenses are decently stout against shittier teams. But dude, Myles Garrett's also going to have a field day.
Yes,
Cam Ward,
yes.
I hope he stretches out pretty good. He's going to be running
My
around quite a
boy
bit.
is gonna be moving.
Um, but with that being all said, guys, we are going to go ahead and stop everything right now. We got about 45 minutes till the game. Guys, we are at 14 views. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but we went up to 14 views on episode 6. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks now that we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Guys, we love the support. We're up to, like I said before at the beginning of the podcast, we are at 200 plus subscribers. We are at, I think we did reach 1,000 views now on the channel itself. So we really appreciate you guys. Keep it going. And then, yeah, let's watch some great football tonight. And, yeah, we're really hitting the year in sports. I feel like it's just the year in general for sports.
Yeah.
Nothing is how we thought it was. Everything we thought we knew or was going to do or whatever. But I just feel like it's all flipping on us, honestly, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yep.
With that also being said, let me go ahead and we got some bonus bets in on Prize Picks. Jake, I'm gonna tell you mine. We're gonna see what we got. Jared Goff, 32 pass attempts, over under. I put him for over.
I'll give him the over. I can see a shootout happening.
100%. And with
It's
the
yeah.
Cowboys defense, they're doing a phenomenal job of holding that run game. I can easily see
Yeah.
them holding Gibbs and Montgomery. Jared
Yeah.
Goff's going to have to sling that rock. With that being said, I also took above 35, pretty much 36 on Dak Prescott's pass attempts. Once again, it's going to be a shootout. I feel like Javonte Williams will be that ground game, but Dak Prescott throws it 85% of the time versus the run. They are very aggressive. That's kind of what
Yeah.
they do. And as long
Yeah.
as they don't get ahead by 25, going into the third quarter, we should be fine on him just continuing to pass it. I got David Montgomery less than receptions, 2.5. I got Brandon Aubrey and Josh Bates. I don't know his first name, but Jay Bates for the kicker for the Lions. I got them over 2.5 field goals combined. Not a bad one.
I like it. Yeah.
We got Turpin. I got under 2.5 reception targets. And then Tom Kennedy, under 4 reception targets.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I think that's good. I think it's good choices.
It's not too bad on a
Yeah.
bonus bet. But once again,
Yeah.
everybody, that's kind of how we're going to start ending it. We're going to throw out some schmutzes. We'll go, and once we get it more in common and in depth, we'll go down kind of the list that Prize Picks and certain things have, and we'll rip them off. That way, if you want something different, you can kind of get our input. Once again, by no means are we promoting Prize Picks or anything. That's just kind of what we go off of. But with everything said and done, Jake, you got anything else, Bubba?
No, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys following, tuning in. Um, yeah, share us with your friends, share us with your family. Um, whether it's positive, negative, we don't give a shit. Doesn't hurt us one bit. Let us know, you guys' thoughts in the comments and stuff like that, so we can start interacting a little bit more with you guys. Um, and yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and he hit on the point, guys. Comment, throw out scenarios like the guy did earlier. That's an awesome scenario.
Yeah,
We love to elaborate. If we could sit there and just have you guys comment every single thing, like if you could just have that going, and then we just kind of pity patter off of that, I would love that. That'd be such a great segment that we could have. But obviously we're still growing, but we need your guys' help. Like he said, share us. Subscribe, throw us to somebody that you think could use some help in the fantasy football realm. Not everybody will accept that they need help. Some people
yeah,
absolutely do. D-money. With all that being said, thank you guys. We appreciate you, and let's go have a great Thursday night game.
appreciate you guys.